Hello and welcome back. Whoops, cut my head off. I'll attempt to rectify that. There we are, more head. The top bit doesn't really matter, it's all the same colour. Anyway, this is going to be a little quicker than I was initially thinking of doing, but I just wanted to make sure I got a video up this week so that you didn't think that I'd come back only to disappear straight away. But I'm fitting it in between the people who have been working on the roof next door to me, just working, just not being noisy. They're just, you know, they've got some music going and things. But anyway, I'm working it in between that and scooting off to work. So what I wanted to do was to say, thank you all so much for the kindness, basically, that I received from so many of you after my last video. I was blown away. But let's continue on with that story of how we can basically reimagine our empty nest years. And yes, it does involve decluttering, although today I don't think I'm going to squeeze in any, but that's, you know, there's a lot to do. But having said that, let's get on with the journey of downsizing. Continuing on from where I was in my last video, and if you haven't seen it, I'll pop it up here, but it is this journey towards a future instead of being held by the things of our past. And it doesn't mean we don't have wonderful pasts and we're not perfectly happy, but it does mean that we can be freer if those things have less of a pull on us than the future has to welcome us. And I think that for many of us, we are part of a longevity generation. We have, you know, pretty good health. We've got, for many of us, we live in very safe, relatively safe environments. Doesn't mean that we're not bombarded by television and all of these things. We do know what's going on in the world. But for me, that just makes me ever more grateful to have, you know, a warm bed and a safe home and a good job and all of those things that make my life pretty good. But what I want to talk about very quickly today is that concept of saying yes. Now, we've been told, encouraged over the years to learn to say no to things, just say no. And I get it, when we were the overwhelmed, overworked, strung out parents of kids going in every direction and then, you know, sort of managing life and career and all of those things that we did. But as we get older, it's well documented. Lots of studies out there. I have a background in psychology and, you know, have read the studies. And as we get older, we diminish our social groups. And that's actually really bad for our health. But not just our social groups, but sort of the things that we put aside, that we say, oh, well, you know, I once wanted to do whatever, but I'm too old to whatever now, you know, if only I had, those sorts of things. So what I'm saying today is, let's say yes to your dreams. Let's say yes to going outside of your comfort zone. Hey, it doesn't have to be far. And just sort of involving those things that you had once dreamed of. Now, how do we do this? Well, I was watching Jane Fonda, she's turning, well, she is 85. She's on the front page of People magazine, looking amazing. And she is the first to admit that she has had some fabulous work done, you know, really beautiful European cosmetic surgery. So she looks really great. But as she said, you know, her body feels, she might be 85, but she feels 80. So she's, and she said she has beautiful posture, which makes me sit up straight. But having said that, her whole life, I mean, she's still filming. She's, you know, just come off, you know, another movie. She's just done the book club, the next chapter, which I haven't seen yet. But a lot of fun, older women. And here she is, she said, well, you know, she really won't have time for filming in the next year because she's devoting herself entirely to her activism, which is now is about the climate and protecting our children and great-grandchildren and the generations to come from what is happening around the world. And you don't have to love Jane Fonda or love her politics or anything about that part of her to acknowledge that her ability to say yes, to just open up and take in everything that is available to her, that she can keep doing, that she's looking forward to. She's got the next year planned. She's 18 months, I think she said. She's 85. can we all just say, wow, and well done, girl, and thank you for being there, because you are a beacon for whatever you and I want at 85 going forward to our 90s. She is doing the thing that she wants, that is her dream and her vision. And I just want us as a group to stand up and say, hey, me too. I want some of that. I want my version of that. Whatever it is for you, and whatever it is for me, that we want that. We want that energy and enthusiasm and acknowledgement that, hey, you know, I mean, as she said, she may be 85, but she feels 80. So, you know, she's acknowledging that her body is not the 60-year-old that she once was when, you know, she was even, you know, also fabulous. But hey, we're in that 50, 60, 70, hey, maybe some in my 80s. I wish I had Jane Fonda as one of my subscribers, because I think she's amazing. But you know, those women like Diane Keaton, Joanna Lumley, oh gosh, there are so many. Everybody's really sad because Dame Judi Dench has macular degeneration, and she may have to give up making films. Now, Judi Dench is a great deal older than Jane Fonda, and you just go, hey, these women, they're working through, they have passion, they have enjoyment, and they are dream chasing into their 80s and beyond. And I just think that that is something we can all do. Now, how do we do it? Well, we have to acknowledge, dig down what is the dream, and we have to shift the dreams from what was to the dreams for what will be. Now, I mean, something that I was thinking of, because I'm going to pack up a lot of Christmas stuff and give it away. But having said that, I thought, well, I always loved Christmas. And it's really hard now without family around. So what are my options? And I thought, oh, come on, girl, you were the woman who had the, you know, friends and family, orphans and strangers. They were my Christmases. That those orphans and strangers, as well as friends, obviously, can become the new thing that I look forward to. Will it be on the same scale that it used to be? No, it won't. But will it mean as much? And I think for me, yeah, it will. So I'm going to make sure, I mean, I'm going on holiday soon and I'll be back, I'll have a month off. But when I come back, I'm going to start thinking about the sorts of things that I can do that I have been missing, that I can do in a different way to give me a similar feeling. Now, for some of us, and it will take this for me, because it's been a long time, you know, through all of these last few years have been really difficult. But I'm going to have to relearn to step outside of my comfort zone. And it won't be far. Hey, baby steps, you know, and we can do them, you know. If you do the little baby step here and you do it again and you get comfortable, and so that becomes part of your comfort zone, and then you do another little step outside. It doesn't have to be far, but soon you realize it's growing and your comfort zone becomes a much more embracive sort of area. And I'm going to go back to working on my comfort zone, to working on finding things that I love to do, or I loved to do in the past, that gave me a feeling of purpose and value, and I'm going to find a different way to do them. And I think whatever it is that you value, that are your dreams, that you want, then it's a matter of finding a different way to do the thing that gives you the same feeling. And that's part of that future pull, that thing that will pull us forward, to give us perspective and passion and purpose. And these are the things that empower our futures and allow us to not detach from our past, but to be less sentimentally attached to it, so that we can't be free of the things that sometimes we want to be free of. And as I said, I'm no minimalist, and I never will be. I'm, you know, the cozy uncluttered, and I love things, and I value interesting things, but I don't want to be held by, oh, you know, my children once touched this beautiful thing, this toy or whatever, and I think it can go to another child. You know, these sorts of things. I'm not going to be held by that anymore. I'm letting the future do the pull forward, and it will free me from, not all, but some of my sentimental items that they really bind us tight. Anyway, that's me for today. I'm sorry it's all talking head, but I will come back with some decluttering in the future, because oh boy, do I have decluttering to do. Not as much perhaps in this area as I thought, maybe some in the kitchen, but it's going to be that spare room. Oh my God, the spare room, please. Yeah. There's going to be stuff gone from there. It's not a spare room at the moment, it's just a room that has got stuff in it. Okay, let's do this. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you are happy and healthy. Know that you're loved by me, and thank you again for all of your beautiful comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.